If you buy an iPhone today, in a year you can sell it off for almost the exact same amount that you bought it and make almost no losses or compromises when it comes to price. But a month or two after you buy an Android phone, the price is already down $200, $300, sometimes up to 50% of the price is gone in the first 6 months of the phone. And this is not me exaggerating. You only have to look at something like the Google Pixel to understand this. Also, an iPhone user is buying an iPhone because they get the latest updates on the same day that it's available for the low-end phones as the higher-end phones, even though there is not exactly any low-end iPhones right now.
The God of Gods!
Okay, so hi, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Kagan, welcome to my channel, and if you are a regular viewer, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little different than all the other videos that I generally do. This is not going to be a tech review. I just want to talk to you about some particular tech that has had a lot of people talking and buzzing and pissing and just totally going up in arms for the last few days now. And that is the iPhone 12, the 12 Max, the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max, and whatever you want to call them or whatever they're going to be called when they're finally released. Apple as a company for many years has not been innovative. I mean, for the most part, as far as I remember it, back in the days, it was Apple make this and then everybody else copies it. That's how it has basically been for a very long time. But for the last few years, that has not been the case. You see, they changed their strategy completely from testing new tech and breaking ground and doing stuff first to being the company that basically just takes their time to perfect something before they put it into their phones. Enter the 120 Hz eye refresh rate debate that's really going on right now in the tech YouTuber community. Everybody is pissed off and I really don't understand it. Would it be nice to have a 120 Hz refresh rate on your phone screen? Absolutely yes, sign me up, I want one. But is it absolutely necessary for your experience as a user on the phone? No, it's not. Without it, you're not going to die and you're not going to actually feel like you're missing anything. And that's a statement of fact. See, let me explain this to you. You only have to be an iPhone user or a regular iPhone user who actually buys new iPhones regularly to understand what I'm trying to say. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, you're not buying a new iPhone because you want 120 Hz refresh rate. Personally, currently, I use the iPhone 11 as my daily driver, not the Pro or the Pro Max, just the regular 11. And the reason why I do that is because I feel like this is better value for money than the Pro or the Pro Max. But that's not always going to be the case for everybody or anybody else who chooses to buy an iPhone 11 today. You can decide that the Pro or the Pro Max is a better value for your money, and that would depend on whether you need the telephoto camera or the better screen, the OLED screen and all of that. Personally, I didn't need that and I am totally fine with this. Now, I have used every iPhone before this one except for the small iPhone 7 and basically the iPhone 6s Plus. And in my experience, the game has changed a lot. I mean, this is a screen that's less than 1080p, but I cannot tell, and it still looks better than some Android phone screens that are UHD or QHD. Why do you think that is? Look, the facts are simple. An iPhone user or a regular iPhone user is not buying an iPhone because they want the latest brand newest feature that's out there in all other phones on the day that it was released. No, I mean, think about how many years it took Apple to include wireless charging in their phones after companies like Samsung and Huawei and all these other Chinese brands have been doing it for many years before them. Just think about how long it took them to finally do it and how well they actually did it when they finally did do it. I want a company to give you all the latest features for the money that you're paying, because technology these days is no longer cheap. Like, these phones are really expensive phones, but you also cannot compare a flagship iPhone to a flagship Samsung phone. I mean, today, if I wanted to sell off my iPhone 11 while I wait to buy the iPhone 12 or whatever, I could sell it for pretty much almost the exact same price that I paid for it more than 8 months ago. But if you wanted to sell the Galaxy Note 10 or the Note 10 Plus that you bought a year ago, the price is going to be really bad. It has lost its value so much, in fact, that you can find that phone brand new right now for less than half or close to half of the price that you paid for it brand new a year ago. If you buy an iPhone today, in a year you can sell it off for almost the exact same amount that you bought it and make almost no losses or compromises when it comes to price. But A month or two after you buy an Android phone, the price is already down $200, $300, sometimes up to 50% of the price is gone in the first 6 months of the phone. And this is not me exaggerating. You only have to look at something like the Google Pixel to understand this. Also, an iPhone user is buying an iPhone because they get the latest updates on the same day that it's available for the low-end phones as the higher-end phones, even though there is not exactly any low-end iPhones right now. But my point is, the iPhone 8 Plus or the iPhone 8 from so many years ago is going to get iOS 14 on the same day that I get iOS 14 for this iPhone 11 and iOS 14 for the iPhone 12 when it's actually launched and people can actually buy the device. Make sense of that. The updates are available to every single iPhone user at pretty much the exact same time. Somebody who bought a Galaxy Note 9 a few years ago doesn't even have Android 10 or Android 11 right now because the updates are not available. See, that's not because Samsung can't do this, but you see the support and the confidence that you have in your iPhones when you buy them, it's completely different from what you get when you buy something like an Android phone. My argument is not that iPhones just work, absolutely not. That would be a stupid argument for a phone that's going to cost close to $1,000 or maybe even more than $1,000 on the day that it launches. But the fact still remains that I feel better being an iPhone user or being a customer for Apple when I know that when there's new features or new software for other phones, I get the exact same software on my cheaper iPhone 8 or iPhone 8 Plus on the same day as everybody else pretty much. So I don't necessarily have to feel like I have to upgrade before I can get the latest and the greatest with Apple. With other phones, it's not the exact same way. I mean, look at the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra right now. It's the rave of the moment. Everybody's talking about it. That phone costs almost $1,400 and it's an expensive phone. In fact, probably one of the most expensive non-folding phones that I have heard of in a very long time. But the thing is though, in about a year, I can probably get that phone for half the price that it's being sold for right now in brand new condition or almost brand new condition. I'm not going to be able to get an iPhone after 12 months for half the price that I paid for it on the day that it was launched. That's never going to happen. And there's a reason for that. So while I'm not making an argument for Apple and trying to be an Apple fanboy, in fact, I am the farthest thing from an Apple fanboy. If you checked videos on my channel, you're going to see a ton of videos where I talked about iPhones being really bad value for money. But these days that has completely changed and I have to stick by that and actually tell you guys that. So when the iPhone 12, 12 Pro, 12 Max, 12 Pro Max actually finally come out, if you want them, absolutely go out and get them. And if you don't, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to, because whatever software those phones are running, your iPhone 11 from a year ago is still going to run those same software, and you're still going to get the fantastic camera, the fantastic user experience, especially if you're in the Apple ecosystem and you actually use iPhones and MacBooks and iPads and everything is just interconnected. You're not going to have to feel like you're missing out on anything. So please, 120 Hertz Brigade, thank you so much. We appreciate your opinion. We thank you for being mad at Apple on our behalf, but the truth is we honestly don't care. iPhone users buy iPhones for completely different reasons than the reasons why Samsung users buy the latest Samsung phones. I don't want my phone to have a 109 megapixel zoom camera. It's a gimmicky feature that I'm basically going to use on the first day and I'm going to be like, oh, this is great, and I'm probably never going to touch it again. I'm fine with my 12 megapixel camera that still takes better video than your $1,400 Samsung Note 20 Ultra. I mean, think about that for a second. My 12 megapixel camera takes better video than your $1,400 phone. Make that make sense. That is pretty much my opinion on the 120 Hz debate and why it doesn't matter. If Apple puts it in there, great, we appreciate it. If they don't, we don't care. As long as the phones are decent, they bring something new to the table, they work really well like other iPhones in the past have worked, I have no problems just recommending them or using them for myself or even paying full price for them on the day that they finally launch. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I guess I will see you on another video that was shot by Kagan. Peace. The God of gods.